So you want to learn how to crochet, and you're seeing all these various tools and equipment that other crochet artists have, and you're like, do I really need to buy this many things to learn how to crochet? Well, you've come to the right place. I'm here to tell you the things you actually need in order to learn how to crochet. Let's get into it. Point number one, you need hooks. You don't need to get all the various a set with all the various hook sizes you can find, ranging from 2.0 mm to 8.0 mm. You don't need it. If you can get just one hook that is like a very comfortable size for you. You can get 4.0, you can get 4.5, and if you're in Nigeria and you want to purchase like the least expensive crochet hook you can try this T-Rose brand. You can get it from like any hairdresser, a hair salon, anywhere they sell hair products. They should sell crochet hooks. It looks something like this. I don't know if it's focusing. It's not very convenient or comfortable for long-term crocheting, but as someone that just wants to start learning as a beginner, if you're not even sure if you like the hobby or not, then you can just get this for starters. Of course, over time, when you like the hobby better, you can start buying more expensive, costly hooks. Second thing you need is yarn. Obviously, it doesn't have to be the most expensive yarn, it doesn't have to be the most colorful yarn, and it should not be a black yarn, but you just get a simple plain colored yarn for learning. You can get a brown yarn or gray. Don't get white, it will get dirty easily. It's not very good for a beginner to use to learn, and neither is black because it's too dark for you to see the stitches. Okay, so get maybe brown or gray if you still want neutral colors, or you can just go ahead and get yourself a colorful yarn if you want, not multicolored yarn like maybe pink or red. If you're in Nigeria, you can get the brand Yeyewu. Again, they'll sell it in any hairdresser shop, any place they sell hair products, they should sell Yeyewu. If you want a separate video on how to choose yarn, you can let me know in the comment section. The third thing you will need is scissors. You can get a small scissor just for it to be more convenient to carry. So number 4 is measuring tape, for obvious reasons. To take measurements, if you're going to make things like a top, if you're going to make things like a hat, if you're going to make a jacket, you need measuring tape. You can't just be, you can be making everything with guesswork, but better to be sure. So get yourself a cheap measuring tape, a cheap but accurate measuring tape. Those are the 4 major things you need, but like that's not all. The 2 I'm about to mention, they cannot be categorized as essential main things you need, but it's good to have them. Number 1 of this is stitch markers. It should look something like this. A single one should look like this. Stitch markers are good for marking stitches that you're going to need to make an increase in or a decrease in. The last essential thing you need are needles. Not the normal tailoring needle before you rush up and go and purchase tailoring needle. It's more like they are bigger in size and they often have blunt tips. Is right here I have metal, but you can get plastic versions too. It looks something like this. So they have big needle eye and they are blunt. The tips are blunt, so it's easier to use to sew projects together. You're not going to be making things like cardigans or sweaters for a long while, then maybe you don't need this. But if you intend to, then purchase this. So that's all for this video. If it was helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye. Hi guys, welcome. Take a seat, grab a book and a pen. Today we're talking about where to get patterns, crochet patterns. So as it stands, you've learned how to crochet, or you're learning how to crochet and you want to try out your skills, or you're an experienced crocheter and you want to try out, new things, crochet different things, they're like, where can I get patterns? Well, you've come to the right place. We're going to start off by talking about where you can get free patterns. So number one, you can get from Yarnspiration. It's a website basically, and they make yarn and they have a bunch of free patterns. I won't tell you that they are the best, but if you're looking for free is free, right? So you can check. If you search well enough, you can get good ones. That's all I can tell you. You can also check Ravelry. It's a platform where people drop a lot of patterns and all that. If you search well enough, you can get some really good free patterns. You can check Pinterest. Pinterest has a couple of like free patterns. If you search crochet patterns on Pinterest, you can see a lot of pictures that will link you to a free pattern, or it can just be a picture that is describing to you a free pattern. You have YouTube. YouTube is always an option. If you're looking for a free pattern, YouTube is here for you. Also, Instagram. If you scroll well enough, if you search the right things and you scroll hard enough, you can find some relatively good ones on Instagram too. Now, for those that have a little bit of cash, you're ready to spend that money, you don't mind cost, you want to pay for a pattern, then you also have Yarnspiration again. Yeah, Yarnspiration also has paid patterns on it that are, if you ask me, better than the free patterns. They are more cuter options than the free pattern. You also have Ravelry again, because they also have cuter paid patterns. You also have Etsy, very good platform for getting paid patterns. Very cute. I've seen a lot of cute options there too. You have Coffee, also a very standard platform with a lot of paid patterns. They're not that expensive. The ones I've seen like relatively cheaper patterns. You can also check people's websites. A lot of people have their own websites that they sell their patterns on. If you search through TikTok or Instagram, you can find a lot of people with links to their websites where they sell their patterns. You can also get from books or magazines, although that's a little bit more old-fashioned, but it's still an option, so you can always go for that too. I hope this video has been helpful. If it has, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you very much. Bye. You can always quit. It does not have to be a business. Although I don't regret making it a business at the time I made it a business, because it was a nice learning experience for me. Hi guys, today's video is on things I wish I knew before I started crocheting. It's not necessarily mistakes, it's just things that would have been helpful to know before I started crocheting. Alright, let's get into it. Point number one, it does not have to be a business. Nowadays there's pressure to like monetize anything, any skills you have, any jobs you can do. Nowadays it's very common to want to make it a business, want to gain money from it, but not everything has to be a business. It can remain a hobby. It can be something you do casually for the longest of time. It can be something you come home each day to just sit and crochet, rather than it being something that you have to meet a demand for because it is a business. For me, I did make it a business early, a little too early if you ask me, but that's the problem. If someone had told me to just relax more, to take my time before making a business out of it, this could have gotten a whole lot easier. Although I don't regret making it a business at the time I made it a business, because it was a nice learning experience for me, but it would just have been better to hold on and just have left it as a hobby for like a few more years before I made it a business. Point number two, try out various forms of it before settling on one. If you start by learning how to crochet clothes, you don't have to remain as someone who crochets clothes. You can move to learning how to crochet bags, You can move to learn how to crochet amigurumis. You can move to learn how to crochet decor. You don't have to restrict yourself to one category of the hobby. Point number 3, you can always quit. I know that if it's something you've already spent a lot of money on and it's something you've already invested a lot of your time in, it's very easy for you to say, okay, I don't want to just abandon this thing that I've already invested a lot into. But if it's something that no longer works with your time, it's no longer something you enjoy, it's not something you find yourself taking time out of to do again, then you don't have to continue. If it no longer fits into your frame of work or life in general, you don't have to continue it. No matter how much investment you put in it, you can set it aside for the meantime and focus on other things. It was never that deep. Like I said, if it's a hobby, it can just remain a hobby and it can be something you take a break from, as much break as you need. Because if you're forcing yourself to keep doing this stuff, even though you're not having the time or you're worn out from it, you're just going to end up giving yourself a chore to do. It won't be something you enjoy. Number 4, you don't need to crochet faster. There's this high demand to want to learn how to crochet faster, to want to be able to finish a sweater in 3 days. But if it's not something that you can do, then you don't need to force yourself to do it. It's not crocheting faster is not for everybody. It can be something you just do leisurely, like very slow pace, just sit down and crochet for a couple of hours. Even if it's not going as fast as other crocheters that you know, you don't have to learn to crochet faster. It's not necessary. And I know that sometimes there's this mentality that crocheting faster means you're more skilled, but it's not necessarily the case. You can be a slow crocheter and still be more skilled than much faster crocheters. Speed does not equal skill. And that will bring me to my next point. You do not need to be making several projects in 1 week. A lot of the time, if you search on TikTok or YouTube, you see a lot of what I made in a week, and then they'll show you 50 cardigans with 20 scrunchies and 12 hats. And for a lot of crocheters watching that, that's not very possible for them. So they look at that and be like, is it that I'm not crocheting fast enough? Am I doing something wrong with this crochet? It doesn't. Unless you're running it as a business, you don't need to be pumping out that many projects in 1 week. In fact, in a week, if your output is 0, then your output is 0. That's all I have for today's video. I hope it was helpful, and if it was, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.